Just gorgeous. Is that real gold? Wow. Just look at the weight on that. Just stunning, just stunning. You believe this? You believe this? Is that a keyboard or a work of art? Best of show. Best of show. Jesus, who put that up there? Disgusting. Hey Kanye, am I right or am I right? Gross. I'm gonna be sick.
Welcome back to the channel, guys. This is Scott K. You know, I've taken a look at so many keyboards this year. Some of them amazing design and finish. Some had incredible sound and feel. Some were just crazy loud and some were just crazy quiet. But out of all those boards that I have taken a look at, I think I have found the serious contender for the #1 spot for this year. It's this, the Haven65. The insane thing about this keyboard is that it has it all. Amazing design. It's designed after the Havenhuis in Belgium. Incredible feel. You can get ultra soft or just right soft. And just top-notch sound without the use of any PE foam or sound modification at all. In fact, this thing sounds so good with absolutely nothing inside. It's wild. For an aluminum keyboard especially. It's only October and I have 2 more months of keyboards to look at, so I can't say it yet, but this may be the top keyboard I have taken a look at all year. And it came out of nowhere. Let's get started. You know, the Havenhuis in Belgium is actually the Port Authority building. Not sure why, but I noticed that many Port Authority buildings look very out there. And you can see it right on this box as well. It can either be a building or the Starship Enterprise. Take your pick. The Haven65 is made by Atelier Haven. Haven actually means port or harbor in Dutch. But this box, it's crazy, like the building. The bottom of the box is a drawer. It has a lot of the components you need to build out this keyboard. Then, just wait for it. Yeah boy, the top opens up like a clamshell and pushes up to expose the keyboard case. Seriously, these keyboard manufacturers are getting so creative with packaging. I love it. Let's take a look at what's inside the bottom drawer. So you got gaskets. These long ones are for the top of the case. Then you got some feet and some of these little gaskets as well. These little ones are actually for the bottom of the case. It comes with an Allen key also, but it's kind of small and bendy. Then you got this weird yellow scraper looking thing. At first I was like, why is this thing here? Then later I realized what it's for. So I'll show you that later. Then I got plates. I have the palm, the aluminum, as well as the FR4 as well right here. Then you got the PCB with the PE foam, then the pack of case and plate foam as well. That's all cool and all, but let's look at the highlight, the case. This one I have is called Tempt. It's like a dark plum red, like the color of like a succubus. Tempt seems pretty appropriate here. I'm going to flip this thing over and check this out. The stainless steel with black PVD finish. It's so beautiful. I mean, I don't think you could get a better color combination than this red and black mirror combo. It's just gorgeous. But wait, what is this? If you follow the shiny weight to the edge, it unveils a surprise. Yep, remember that Havenhuis? Yep, that design is right here on this edge. It makes the keyboard have a floating look and effect, like the actual Havenhuis in Belgium. At this point you think, is this a keyboard or a miniature architecture? Or maybe the Starship Enterprise? I don't know, but it's stunning. You look at the inside of the case and you get these small little details that remind you that you paid $400 for a premium keyboard. And that's exactly what this thing is, premium. At every angle and every surface, you see that it has some interesting design element going on. It's unique and I think it's beautiful. I'm sure I could talk about the case for like 15 minutes, but we have some other things to cover as well, like the PCB. Overall, it's a simple matte black PCB with hot swap sockets in south-facing configuration. No lights here. I mean, you don't get RGB lights on the Havenhuis. Wait, doesn't, right? Anyways, it also has a single flex cut right in the center of the PCB. At first I thought, is this going to be enough? Oh yeah, it is. Reminder, this PCB is 1.2 millimeters. It's the thinner type. As usual, the same KO hot swap sockets below as well. The PCB supports various different layouts like 6.25 or 7U spacebars, stepped caps, split backspace, and etc. They will also offer an ISO version as well from what I know. and the PCB will be VIA and QMK compatible. Then there's the case foam, plate foam, and also the PE foam. I can tell you, if you don't like foam, you don't have to use any of this. This keyboard absolutely does not need any of it. And here are the plates. You got the aluminum plate in all black anode, then the FR4 plate in black with some gold accenting. I think this is actually my favorite plate. Then you also got the palm plate right here as well. All very similar and different at the same time. For example, the palm plate is soft, so it doesn't really have as much flex cuts. It has them, but not as much as, like example for this one, right? The FR4 and the aluminum plate has a lot more cuts. So check this out. It's one of them G-string plates again, right? I think Andy Nguyen actually coined that term, by the way. Alright, I'm excited to build this thing, but before we jump in, a quick word from our sponsor, PCBWay. PCBWay is an online service that helps you print PCBs, do 3D printing, or even CNC machining. If you're an aspiring keyboard designer or whatever else designer, you can take your design and simply upload it to get something made quick. Or, if you have the source code for a PCB that you already have and you need a replacement, you can also get that done as well. They can handle all types of PCBs from your simple single layer designs to multi-layer stacks. Beyond PCBs, if you want to try making your own case, PCBWay can machine that as well. Now, a very exciting new service that PCBWay offers, OEM. Instead of just making a single component, you can actually task PCBWay to be an OEM manufacturer and make the whole thing. They can do anything from PCBs to CNC cases to even assembly. And using global manufacturing, they can offer very competitive prices. Is there a keyboard on the horizon? Well, check out OEM at PCBWay. So we're going to start by applying the gasket foams to the case. This is the standard pour-on type. Ain't nothing wrong with that at all. The top case gaskets just kind of drop in, so no adhesive here, you just shove it in. Just get stuck in the thing, maybe that's what the yellow scraper is also for. The bottom one's a little tiny, so you have to actually apply onto the ends like this. They're so tiny, but this is what they call the leaf spring type gasket mount, and it actually dramatically increases the plate flex as well. I've read that this board does fine with absolutely no foam, so that's what we're gonna do first. Bare open case. Honestly, this is like one of the first times in a while since I've done this, so I've used some lubed TX stabs for this build. Remember that this is a 1.2mm PCB, so buy the right ones, because I didn't. Drop some switches into the FR4 plate and the PCB and connect a JST cable and pop the top case on. Super easy assembly. For switches, I decided to go with the KBDfans Hamster lid ears. I have the prototype here, so they're all milky white, but the production is actually tan and white like a hamster. The stem is pink, like a hamster's nose. I guess it's cute. Awesome long pole switches made by Texi, so check them out. For keycaps, I first dropped in some DCX white and black to start. I also got this awesome PVD Artisan from Atelier Haven, so I popped that on as well. I think this is such a stunning board. I'm sure Kanye will agree. Then I ran into this. Check this out. It's so ridiculous how much bounce and flex this thing has when you have no foam inside at all. Like, it's comical how bouncy this thing is. And I'm using the FR4 plate. Imagine with the palm plate. So then, what about the sound? I was actually a little bit hesitant that a bouncy board like this would actually sound good, but let's check. Wow, reminder, this board has nothing inside it, like no foam or anything inside it at all. Given how bouncy it is, and given the G-string plate, I expected the sound to be thin, but no. Why does it sound so good like this? It literally blew my mind. But for me, the no foam was a little way too flexy. It's not a bad feel, but I feel like I'm typing on something that is like moving around. It was so odd how flexy it was, so I decided to shove the case and the plate foam inside. I literally threw the PE foam away. This thing sounds so good that I don't want anything to change the sound profile at all. Remember that weird yellow scraper? Yup. When you use the plate foam, it also acts as a lateral stabilizer. It holds everything more snug into the case, and you have to actually use this little crowbar thing to tuck the foam inside. It's literally the first time I've seen this. For the second go at it, I decided to swap the keycaps to the GMK white on blacks. It doesn't change things much, but for some reason I felt the fatter legends on the GMK would actually look better with this colorway. I don't know. Even with the case and plate foam inside, the Haven65 has plenty of usable flex. It's a very comfortable keyboard to type on. I mean, I could type on this like all day with absolutely no fatigue. Then there's the look. You cannot go wrong with white and black on burgundy cases. It's like such a perfect match. And just how this keyboard looks and like carries itself is so, I don't know, architectural? Yes, if you haven't noticed it by now, I really like this board. It's not a cheap board by any means, but if you're in the market for a potentially endgame level 65%, do not pass this up. I'm literally debating on jumping on the group buy to grab another colorway. So enough of me keyboard crushing on this now. So now I will leave you with this. Thanks.